So the Eagles just lost another offensive lineman for the practice squad, but with this former All-Pro ready to join a contender, why should Howie Roseman consider the move? Plus, Jason Kelce laughing at Dallas, but we're not laughing about the Nakobe Dean injury news. And a major advantage Philly has against Kansas City. But first, let's run it. Hey guys, in case anyone's new to the channel, I'm Josh and I cover the birds. So Kansas City tight end Travis Kelce may be dating pop star Taylor Swift, but sorry Travis, it's actually Jason Kelce who's catching the eye of the people. After People magazine released their Sexiest Man Alive finalist, which included the 36-year-old Eagles center, along with other selections like Emmy nominee Pedro Pascal, actor Timothée Chalamet, as well as 8-time Grammy winner Usher, Oscar winner Jamie Foxx, and the ever-talented rocker Lenny Kravitz. But come on, those other dudes don't stand a chance, because like one observer noted, like it or not, this is peak male existence.
28 years old, look at me, I'm in the best shape of my life!
Sorry, that's not fair to Jason. But my favorite part was Kelce's reaction to the nomination.
I'm not even the sexiest man in my family, let alone sexiest man alive. I mean, what are we talking about here? But it's fun. I mean, the publicity around the family and everything has gone to a completely different level. But yeah, that was funny to see for sure.
Dude, Kelce's just the best, and it's only right for a guy with the nickname of Sexy Batman to win the award. Plus, all he did was add more meaningful fans when he screamed in the Cowboys' face Sunday. Okay, actually, it turns out number 62 was laughing.
I actually wasn't screaming. I was laughing as loud as I could in his face.
That's a laugh?
I was going like this. That's exactly what I was doing.
That's terrifying. You're like a thrilled villain. You're just a crazed psycho.
Yeah. I don't know what happened. I kind of blacked out.
I'm not really sure what kind of laugh that was, but I love it. Just like Peter the cop providing extra motivation for the Birds against Dallas. With Kelce sharing that Nick Sirianni showed the team Peter's rant in a team meeting for some extra motivation, as multiple players admitted it got him fired up.
Have never hated anything more than I hate the Dallas Cowboys. Ever. The only game I look forward to any year, the 365 days, all 4 major sports, is the Dallas Eagles game in Philly. We need to bring this back. I hate the Cowboys. Everyone who loves the Eagles should hate the Cowboys. Hate them, despise them, including the players. Sirianni's a motivator. He's all about culture. He needs to bring that back. He's got to get the team up, the players up, to hate the Cowboys, hit them in the face, knee them in their glory holes, as Jerry would say. You've got to bring that culture back. You've got to get them. Sorry, I'm pulling someone over. You've got to get that back and get them back in. This is not just a game. This year especially, it's the division. This could be the home field advantage for the playoffs or not.
Bro, the fact that Peter stopped midway through his rant to apologize for pulling someone over is phenomenal. But okay, I know this is a complete shot in the dark, but if anyone knows how to get in touch with Peter the cop from Lehigh Valley, I'll figure out a really cool way to repay you because I've got a special thanks I want to send him. But all right, let's get to one of the bigger stories with the Eagles losing another offensive lineman in guard center Julian Good-Jones to the Washington Commanders. This, of course, coming after the Eagles have already lost Tyree Phillips to the New York Giants as well as Brett Toth to the Carolina Panthers last month. I mean, I don't blame them because if anyone's gone through Stoutland University, that'd be enough for me. However, the recent losses now leave just veteran tackle LaRaven Clark as the only remaining blocker on the Eagles practice squad. Although the beauty is that we're at least pretty healthy, so don't need the depth as much, at least right now. Plus, there's now a former All-Pro available, granted on the D-line, with Ian Rappaport reporting Jason Pierre-Paul is now willing to sign with the practice squad of a playoff contender. Well, I wonder who that could be then. So with the extra spot available on the practice squad, and let's not forget, Derek Barnett has seemingly fallen out of favor with the coaching staff, with him being a healthy and active for the Dallas game, it could make some sense to bring in the 34-year-old former first-rounder. After all, the dude did start in 13 games last season for the Ravens and played fairly well, as the 6'5", 275-pound edge racked up 26 total tackles, 3 sacks, 1 interception, and 5 passes knocked down at the line of scrimmage. But, okay, sure, JPP isn't the same player he once was, we all know that, but this is the type of move that would be totally in character for GM Howie Roseman, because because I think we all remember Howie bringing in vets like Ndamukong Suh and Linval Joseph at the midpoint of the season last year, and they definitely paid dividends. Also, another point to bring up, if we look at the snap counts from Dallas, as great as Hassan Reddick and Josh Sweat are, I'm not sure the Eagles want to be playing them over 80% of the time. For example, Josh Sweat got 63 snaps, which was good for 84%, Hassan Reddick 60 snaps, and Brandon Graham just 18 with Nolan Smith having 9. But look, you guys know I'm in favor of getting Nolan Smith more snaps. However, I'm not opposed to adding a guy on the edge with a lot of size and especially having that experience. I mean, worst case scenario, he can't be worse than Barnett, and you're practically getting him for free, which is why I agree with the Birds Blitz who said, honestly, I'm all for a JPP signing. Can't hurt to kick the tires and see what he has left. For 5 to 10 snaps a game in pass rushing situations, why not? Can never have too much depth. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense to me, but what do you guys think? Do you want JPP, and is this a move you could see Howie doing? At the same time, I could see if you argued we don't really need him since, let's be real, pass rush isn't a weakness for us right now. Although perhaps another linebacker, since Mike Garafolo reported that Nakobe Dean has been diagnosed with a Lisfranc sprain on the opposite foot, just in case people are wondering from the previous injury, and we'll see a foot specialist to determine a course of action, but is expected to miss time and be placed on the IR, which is obviously bad news, and I've talked about this before, but Nakobe just can't catch a break. Thankfully, at least the silver lining is that Zach Cunningham has played lights out, and Nicholas Morrow has been really good too. Honestly, better than Dean in my opinion. So it's probably not a huge loss anyway. However, if you're buying into ESPN's predictive analytics, the Eagles have all sorts of holes. Because despite beating Dallas, the joke analytics have the Birds ranked number 7 behind Dallas, Miami, San Francisco, Buffalo, Baltimore, and Kansas City.
That don't make no sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me too. But okay, let's take a look at some of the squads in front, and like Brandon Lee Gouton asked, would you really want to swap places with any of those teams? Well, how about the Baltimore Ravens? Sure, they've been looking pretty good, but they also lost to Gardner Minshew and Kenny Pickett. And yeah, let's also not forget about Lamar's playoff record, 1-3 starting record, 4 total TDs, 7 giveaways, a 68.3 passer rating, where the Ravens have averaged to score only 13 in those starts, and yeah, 2 of those losses coming with home field advantage. All right, well then how about Dallas? No, I don't even need to argue that one. We know what they are in the playoffs. And then if you look at the 40 Whiners, they've just lost 3 in a row, and not sure I'd be trusting the future with my starting quarterback right now. Of course, yeah, you could point to the Kansas City Chiefs. However, let's take a look inside what the Arrowhead Pride are saying about their O-line. With Nate Christensen writing, Kansas City has invested way too many resources and has acquired too much pedigree for the offensive line to be this bad. For a team that primarily passes the ball, and for most of the season, the line has been a strength, but the past 2 weeks have been a total mess. Now, hopefully the team can get these under control during the bye week, because if this is how their offensive line is going to perform in the stretch run and the playoffs, the Chiefs will have no shot. Yeah, and they just lost to the Broncos, but alright, it just goes to show that no team is without weaknesses. Granted, there are areas we need to work on, like I've mentioned in previous videos. Yet there's no need to whine like Dallas's radio team during one of the brotherly shoves.
There's the push, and it's close, but I think he got the first down. No, I don't think they've used it and not gotten it, have they?
No. You know, Stephen Jones is on the competition committee, right? He's got to stand up in that room and say, we need to ban this.
He's not against it.
We need to. No. You got to play Philly twice a year. You got to play Hurts. You might even see him a third time. You get up there and you say, this has got to be, this is not football.
I'm sorry, but that probably brings me more joy than it should. Speaking of joy, I'm genuinely happy for Carson Wentz to find another NFL team and get back into the league, with the Los Angeles Rams signing the former Eagles QB to back up Matt Stafford. But not gonna lie, it is really amazing just how polarizing Carson can be. Sure, I know he wasn't the same quarterback after the injury he suffered against LA, which is kind of ironic that that's the team to give him another shot, but personally, I think you gotta give him a lot of credit for helping to get in the position to win the Super Bowl. Okay, let me make this abundantly clear. I'm not taking anything away from what BDN did. Yet it's okay to be happy for this dude, since after all, we've got our guy who's literally one of a kind. Although yes, I can understand the frustration since Rob Motti somewhat poured gasoline on the whole Carson situation when he said, new Rams quarterback Carson Wentz, who once threw for 4,000 yards without any wide receiver over 500, now gets to work with Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua. He won't have to worry about Kupp anonymously calling him a bad teammate because he prefers to do Bible study on a Friday night over doing shots with receivers. Sean McVay gets a QB with upside who had 27 TDs and 7 INTs in 2021 and was terrible in 2020 and end of 2022.
And here we
going.
Yeah, well, I somewhat get that now, and I would somewhat expect it, but honestly, I wish Carson the best. Curious to know what you guys think, though, and why does Wentz keep getting so much hate? Maybe it was just that he didn't have thick enough skin. I don't know. On the flip side, I just want to thank you guys for the crazy continued support. This journey has been insane, and gonna do a massive giveaway coming soon as a thank you, so be on the lookout. This has been the Philly Special.